In this video, let's learn about pointers and arrays in C++. Pointers have a close relationship with arrays. In fact, array name is a pointer to itself. It always points to the first element of the array. Suppose that we have an array called A having 5 elements or integer type values 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. In the next step, we have declared a pointer to this array. Since it is pointing to an integer type array, therefore the data type of this pointer variable is int. In the next step, we have initialized this pointer variable with the name of the array. Basically, what we are doing, we are initializing it with the address of the first element of the array, since the name of the array always points to the first element of the array. Let's understand this all with the help of this graphical representation. In our case, the array consists of the following values 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Since it is an array, therefore the index of the first element is 0, index of the second element is 1, index of the third element is 2 and so on. Suppose that the address of the first element, which is at index 0, is 1000. And since it is an integer type value which takes up 4 bytes, therefore the next address is at 1004. Similarly, the third address is at 1008. So all the consecutive addresses are 4 bytes apart. When we declare a pointer of integer type to this array and assign it the name of the array, then it is equivalent to assigning the address of the first element of the array. Therefore, ptr is equivalent to the address of the first element, and if we want to move to the second element, then we will have to increment ptr by 1. Similarly, if we want to move to the third element, then we have to increment ptr by 2 and so on until we reach the end of the array. Let us understand how to create a pointer to an array through this program. So I'll begin by declaring and initializing an array, and here my array is of integer type. The name of the array is A, the size of the array is 5 and it stores the values 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. If you want, you may initialize the array at runtime also. In the next step, I am going to declare a pointer to this array. Since it is a pointer to integer type array, therefore the data type of this pointer should be int, and it is a pointer variable, therefore the name of the pointer variable must be preceded by an asterisk or star symbol. In the third step, let's initialize the pointer variable with the address of the first element, or simply by typing the name of the array, because it also corresponds to the address of the first element of the array. Okay, now in the next step, I am going to access and display all the values of the array using a loop. In order to create a loop, I need to first declare a loop variable to keep track of the index values, and let's call this variable as I once again. Now I will begin by typing I equal to 0 for index value 0, and our last index value is 4, I plus plus. Then inside the body of the loop we will type cout, and then here we will type ptr plus I, and in order to display the elements with some space in between, we will have /t, and that's it. Let's save our program. Let's execute it. So here you can see we have got addresses instead of the values. That's because I forgot to put star symbol before displaying the values through the pointer. Now one thing I want to show you before rectifying that error is that our first element is at this address 0x6ffdf0, and here 0x means it is in hexadecimal format. If you notice the last digit of this address, then it is 0. The next address is exactly the same except that the last digit is 4. So you can see that the difference between the address of the first and the second element is of 4 bytes. Similarly, the address of the second element and the third element have difference of 4 once again. So here it is 4 and here it is 8, and same is the case here. It is C because this is in hexadecimal format, and hexadecimal values are made up of alphabets from A to F and digits from 0 to 9. So what happens, after 8 the next digit comes 9, then comes A, then B, and then comes C. So once again the difference is of 4. So I hope it is clear to you how these elements are being stored in the memory. So let us go back to our code and rectify the error that we have made. So here we have to put star before accessing the values through the pointers. Let's rerun the program, and this time we will get the numbers or digits that we had stored in our array as the output.